Where life gets interesting with if functions is that you can nest up to 64 if functions. And that is, you don't just have one true and false and one test, you can have up to 64 tests and 64 outcomes. Let's have a look here. In the sheet third if, we have a series of names and results, and I want to give these people a grade depending on their result. I'm going to go to the cell C2, and I'm going to start with an if statement equals I. I'll double click if. Now my first test is if B2 is greater than 90. So I always start with the highest value. So I'll click on B2 and I'll type greater than 90. That's my first test. Comma. Now if that's true, they're entitled to an A+, and that's text. And text always goes in a double quote. So I'll give them an A+. So if they got a result greater than 90, give them an A+. Otherwise, comma, now the false. Now the false is another if. So I go I, and I double click if, and now I do another test. So the if is the false, and now I start the pattern again. This test is if B2 is greater than 85, comma. If that's true, give them an A. If it's false, do another if. I'll double click, so I press I, double click if. If B2 is greater than 80, if that's true, then I'll give them an A-. If not, I'll press I and double click if. If B2 is greater than 75, I'll give them a B+. If that's false, I'll do another if. If B2 is greater than 70, then I'll give them a B. If that's false, I'll do another if. If B2 is greater than 65, then I'll give them a B-. If that's false, I'll do another if. If B2 is greater than 60, then I'll give them a C+. If that's false, I'll do another if. And if B2 is greater than 55, then I'll give them a C. If B2 is greater than 50, I'll give them a C-. If that's false, then that's the end of the road. I have to have my final false. So my last test was if B2 is greater than 50, give them a C-. If not, give them an F. That's the last false. And for every if, and there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 if statements, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 close brackets. When I press enter, they've got an A+. When I double click the thin black cross, it will fill the formula down. So you can nest up to 64 if functions, and that was 9. I'd like to apply conditional formatting, and that is anybody with an if I'd like to show as red. With this range highlighted, I'll go to conditional formatting, I'll highlight cell rules, text that contains, and if it contains an if, then make it have a light red fill with dark red text, and OK. Keeping that range C2 to C15 highlighted, I'd like to apply another conditional formatting. Not only can you nest 64 if statements, but you can also apply up to 64 conditional formats to any given cell. So let's apply a second one. Conditional formatting, highlight cell rules, this time text that contains a C-. If it contains a C-, I don't want it to go red because my F's are red. I'll hit the drop down here and say go yellow. A yellow fill with dark yellow text. And OK. So you can see here my C- is a yellow and my F's are red. So it's drawing my attention to those that are not doing so well and are going to need some immediate help. I'd like to now apply a third conditional format, knowing that I can apply up to 64. Conditional formatting highlights cell rules, text that contains. If it contains a C, let's make it go green. So I'll choose a green fill with dark green text. And I notice that the C minuses are no longer yellow, they've now gone green also because they contain a C. So let's go OK, and we'll need to manage our rules. The orders in which rules are applied is important. Let's go conditional formatting and manage rules. With this range highlighted, it shows me that the current selected cells or the current selection has got 3 conditional formats. And what it's doing is it's dealing with the C after it's dealt with the C minus, so it's actually nullifying. I'm going to click on this rule, and using this button I'm going to move it down. Notice you can hold the control and press down arrow. But if I move this down and then go OK, the F's will be tackled, then the C minuses will be tackled, then the C's will be tackled. And so because of that order of the rules being applied, I get the yellow for my C minuses and the greens for my C. If I was to change Matt's result to say 50, that's an F and it's red. If I was to change it to say 55, that's a C minus. If I was to change it to 60, that's a C. And if I was to change it back to 95, that's an A plus. So you can nest up to 64 if statements.